Are you someone who thinks you need to speak lower to sound more professional, more confident, more authoritative, or more assertive when you speak? Maybe you just don't like the sound of your voice and you think that lowering the pitch is the key. What if I told you that you could be misperceiving your voice? Please remember to subscribe to my channel and hit the bell so you don't miss out on more great content. I'm going to share 3 common vocal habits with you that actually contribute to us misperceiving our voice. So my name is Anuska Taylor. I have been training singers and speakers to become the master of their own voice so they can fully express their brilliance for over a decade. So often people will come and work with me because they want to sound more powerful, more authoritative, and more confident when they speak in their business or career. And they think that the solution to that is to lower their pitch. In most cases, it is a misperception of their voice. So if you think that your speaking voice is too high, please comment below and just say, yes, my speaking voice is too high, because I think it's a very, very, very common issue that people feel that they have. Now, I'm just going to get a little bit scientific with you for a second. What you're most likely hearing is your vocal tract that's been constricted. I will explain vocal tract in just one second. And so what happens is it amplifies the higher overtones in our voice, giving the illusion of a higher pitch. Now, the vocal tract is really from the vocal folds, which are in the larynx. So if you're a man, you have your Adam's apple. And if you're a woman, you'll probably feel a slight protrusion on your neck here. And certainly when you start talking, you'll feel your larynx bobbing up and down. That's where your vocal folds live. So the vocal tract starts there and then goes to the lips. It's essentially a tube. So it's that tube from the vocal folds to the lips. So what we want when we're speaking, to speak with the most efficiency, power, effortlessness, resonance, all the things that we all want when we use our voice for our work, is we want this vocal tract, the general rule, to be as lengthened and as opened as possible to get the fullest expression of our voice. So what kinds of vocal habits might we develop that would contribute to us misperceiving our voice and giving this illusion of a higher pitch? Now, these are incredibly common, and I, for one, have at least one of these. So I'm just going to go through the three main ones. So firstly, and this is common among singers and speakers, this first one, but jaw and tongue tension. So you may be aware that you have jaw tension. Certainly if you're someone that grinds your teeth at night, I certainly do that. Or you know that when you yawn, your jaw cracks. So that's another sign that there's kind of tightness in the jaw. But just to know that jaw tension will hinder your voice. It actually hinders the mobility of the larynx and actually shortens that vocal tract that we spoke about. Now, tongue tension is an interesting one because I think it's hard to really recognize it in yourself. Certainly when I work with singers, you can hear it in a singer's voice when they're tensing their tongue. But I think for many speakers, they don't realize that their tongue is actually quite tight. Now, one way you can check this out is when you're speaking, to just put your thumb underneath your chin and just keep speaking. Now, do you feel it's kind of hard under here, or is it soft? Now, if it's quite hard, it means your tongue is probably quite tight. So we want it quite soft under here. Now, this next one is an interesting one because I think people find this one hard to deal with when I tell them they're not allowed to smile. Now, just to understand, I'm not talking about the occasional smile because I don't want you to stand there and speak and look miserable. But what I generally say to people is smile between words, between sentences. So I'm not saying don't smile. I've certainly worked with people before that are very smiley. And I've had to kind of contain their smiling a little bit when they're speaking because smiling actually shortens the vocal tract. So it's shortening and constricting. So if you are someone that smiles a lot, which is great, it's just not so great for your vocal tract. So try and smile between words, between sentences, rather than having this big grin on your face the whole way through. I also think that when you do this, it forces you to pause and slow down so that you can actually smile. So number 3 is nasality. Now, this is really common amongst lots of people, and there's lots of reasons why people speak with a lot of the sound in their nose, which is essentially what this is. But what I find is people that really think that their pitch is too high often have a lot of nasality in their voice, and it gives the illusion of a higher pitch. But your pitch can be anywhere and you can still speak in your nose. So often with these people, them speaking more in their mouth and out of their nose, and actually they have a much richer, deeper sound than what they thought that they needed to do, which was to lower their pitch, and then the nasality would disappear. We can lower your pitch, but your nasality will still be there. So if you are misperceiving your voice and then you artificially try and lower your pitch, you're actually creating lots of problems for yourself, and you're going to start overworking and overloading your voice to try and compensate. And as I said, in most cases, it probably isn't the fact that you need to lower your pitch. You actually just need to learn how to actually access the most resonant version of your voice, which often is actually slightly raising the pitch, but being much more deliberate in the way you're speaking and being much more forward in the way you're speaking versus up in the nose or back in the throat. So if you enjoyed this video, please subscribe to my channel. I produce videos regularly, and I'm always interested to know if there's any topics that you would like me to cover. I just get very excited about talking about this stuff, so I'm more than happy to cover any topics that you would like to hear more about. And finally, head to my website, which is anuskataylor.com, and you can actually download a free voice care guide, which is suitable for anyone, singers or speakers. So it will just give you some tips on how to take care of your voice and also how to warm up your voice. So until next time, I will see you on my next video.